This is a very comfortable way to stand. I like to stand like this. Sometimes I stand like this. This isn't comfortable, but it's a tiny bit entertaining. Because it makes people look at you, I don't know why that bothers me. That's a little weird. I mean, it's not crazy, like standing like this, and it's not normal. It's just a little... You see people looking at you. What is it? Why is he... I do that when I have to go to places I don't like to go, you know, like CVS. I hate CVS, but sometimes you got to go in there. That should be their slogan. CVS. Sometimes you got to come in here. Where else are you going to get your wart Band-Aids? And that's stuff for your dry vagina. Dry vagina. I used to think it was called a vagina when I was a kid because I grew up in Boston. Shut up. I don't care. In Boston, they have something they call the Boston accent. It's not an accent. It's a whole city full of people pronouncing most words wrong. It's a regionally agreed upon stupidity. And I was raised to talk like an idiot in Boston because the teachers talk like that and they teach you to talk like that. I remember my 5th grade teacher when we did sex ed, she was like, this is a diagram. She's like, this is a penis and this is a vagina. Now, during intercourse, the man ejaculates sperm into the vagina. And then later, baby comes out of the vagina. And sometimes it's retarded. Yeah. It's sad when they come all mentally retarded. I grew up in the 70s and teachers said retarded. Some people are retarded. And they got retarded vaginas. I really did think it was called a vagina, and because sex is such a mysterious thing to a boy, I thought it was like a thing that you use to vagine with. I gotta go to Rent-A-Tool and get a vagina so I could vagine my driveway. I just made a really nice table. I gotta vagine it. That would make a nice table. Make a new table and you sand it and you're like, all right, honey, get up there. And she just... And you go, ooh. You don't even poly or anything. That's nice. That's like the old way to do it, you know? This table is very smooth because my wife have a very juicy boozy and she vagina the table is a long time. That is nice. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Tedesca-Leone.
But I don't think it's as simple as that. The thing is that Ellen is not a popular person. She's kind of a rotten, smelly, awful, stinky.
Is she not a nice lady?
Idiot. She's. I wish we were on XM so I could describe her completely.
Of course,
but I can't.
Wait, what have you heard?
The FCC cannot, would not let her be accurately described.
This is interesting.
No. It would be like if a cop said who shot you and it was hard to be like, you got to take me off the air because I can't tell you.
Jimmy met her in Vegas, so this is really interesting because he got the big blow off.
She was doing something for XM, and we were out there for XM. So I was like, I'll walk up, and she's being filmed. I'm like, hey, I get my pictures with everybody. It's just what I do.
You didn't get a picture with me. I've met you twice now.
Yeah, but I'm too nervous to ask.
Okay.
So I walked up to Ellen, and I'm like, hey, I'm a comic. I'm also doing something with XM. I just wanted to get a quick picture. She's like, oh no, I can't. I'm in the middle of shooting, but she wasn't, and I wanted to spit in her face.
Yeah, she's really
I gave her a good trashing, if that's any consolation.
Good for you.
I know people that work for her as writers, and she's She's dope and mean to people.
Oh, easy, Lou,
like
on the language.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a spoil sport.
She's a real ninny.
She's a right rotter, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a right rotter.
Yeah, she's a...
Yes, most definitely.
They went to commercial I was reading recently, and she yelled at her writers, "Why did you write that for me?"
Yeah, she's really got gallons of...
Yeah, that had made the press last week, I believe.
Was she a good stand-up in a day?
Yes, I think she was...
Is that okay to say?
She was a good
Yes.
stand-up. Okay.
She was fine. She was all right. I know she never made me laugh, really. But because she's got that way about her...
being a leather.
Well, no, not that one. Yeah, I don't. Who cares about that? But the fact that she has this sort of MO means that people pile it on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at her working. She shouldn't be working. And whatever, that story. You know what? I've had a show where I had writers, and often I'd look at them and say, you guys stink, and I hate you. So the stories about how tough she is on the writers, that I take with a grain of salt because
Well, I guess this was...
there's a natural, you got to crack the whip, and also there's a natural thing where the person who's on camera is taking the hits for bad jokes.
But would you do it in front of a live audience?
What's that?
Would you do it in front of a live audience?
Oh, no,
I
never.
think that's what the story was
really?
about. Yeah, she did a joke and it sucked, and she goes, "Why would you write that for me?" And she was dead serious
Wow, I don't know.
while they were in break.
Yeah, no,
You had good writers on Lucky Louie, man.
every one of them.
They were funny, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you call lesbians in Australia?
Stiff tongues.
Do you
Stiff
really?
tongues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was reading about you with the prostitutes. You had quite a background.
When
with
I was
hookers.
younger, yeah, I used to go see the hookers sometimes, yeah.
You had an odd childhood.
Why did you go see hookers?
I don't know, Robin. I was horny.
He was horny and he couldn't get regular
And I
chicks.
couldn't get regular
That's
chicks.
how bad it
the
was.
only-
I don't understand that question. If you give them $20, they'll blow you. Why would
Why would you take advantage of
That's
that?
why we go see hookers.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't make a habit of it. I mean, he
Sure you do.
It wasn't like a habit, I guess, but
I
I did
just gave it 20 to a guy for a Screech T-shirt.
Yeah.
We got blown. We got fucked.
Were they the real, like, crack hoe types? Or were
Well, one time I remember on the West Side Highway in some awful place. I wasn't looking for a hooker, the thing was. I was looking for motorcycle parts. There used to be a motorcycle place on 23rd and West
And you thought they'd be in a woman's vagina?
I thought I would find maybe a couple of good cylinders and stuff.
I mean, you would go a couple of times to hookers. A lot of guys won't admit this stuff, especially when they get this series on HBO.
Right.
You try to clean up your
I
past.
went to a few hookers, yeah, in my past.
But real street hookers, like you'd pull your car over to the side?
Yeah, this was when I was young, too. I just couldn't get with women. Like, I couldn't talk to women well, and I couldn't pick women up and stuff, so I just started... I just drive down the street, and like Artie said, it's just so simple. Like this.
You did it by yourself, or you go with your friends?
Never. Like I never got guys who like do
Groups
stuff
of guys
together.
together.
That's gross to me, you know.
See, Artie did it with groups of friends.
Yeah.
Well, no, I did once, one night after party, and we all went, and we all got blowjobs.
From the same woman?
I can't.
Two of us did.
Well, whenever I did anything like that in my life, I was so filled with shame. I would never want another person around that knows me. I just want to do it and then recover and take a shower.
But it's a big move when you're a kid to pay 20-something bucks to a hooker. It really is.
It's about 20 bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're not Paris Lasticius.
Sometimes it would be like...
spending it on weed. Yes?
You let him finish the story about the crack whore.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, it doesn't have to.
No, please, Louie, go. We don't want to interrupt you.
None of us have, well, maybe Artie. The crack whore.
I've been with whores who like crack, but not necessarily a crack whore.
Yeah. Right. Well, I was on West Side Highway looking for this motorcycle. I couldn't find it, and I was on a payphone. And there's this place called the Terminal Hotel. It's still actually there. And the windows are busted. And out of one of these windows, I would have thought no people were allowed in this building.
Right.
This woman is hanging out and waving at me. And I'm like, okay, I wave back. And then she bears her tits to me.
Nice.
And I go, okay. And the next thing I know, she's right next to me. She ran down. And she said, hey, you're cute. And I go, yeah, whatever. And she says, I'll blow you for $8, like an odd amount, $8. Yeah, and to me it was like, I can get blown now. The motorcycle, I'm going to go.
But how insulting. She sized you up for $8.
Yeah.
You must have looked like a real loser.
Hey, Lou, is that the one on the end of 14th Street, the Terminal Hotel, like that thing that's shaped like an angle almost?
No, not that one. That's the Liberty.
The Liberty, the Liberty.
I know all the
That was a different whore.
That's right.
Yeah, the Liberty
So
is
she
shaped.
took me into this place, and I had to give $20 to the guy to buzz us through the security door. I don't know how they got all this stuff in there, because the building's like really condemned, and I'm walking through this building, and there's literally just like a bad movie. There's rats. I stepped over a guy, I swear to God, like laying on the ground.
Shows you how strong the sex drive is.
Yes,
you know,
it
most
is.
people would run.
That's what it was, and my heart was beating really fast, and we're going up these stairs, and some stairs are missing. It's that bad.
Right.
And then the next thing I know, I'm in this room, and it was winter, so I'm in this room, and the wind's blowing in because the glass is shattered.
And by the way, you know what the coincidence in this story is?
What's that?
The guy's laying on the ground with the rats? That was Artie.
That's
Probably.
Think of the mentality, though, of going to the West Side Highway for whores. You're like, I don't do well with women. Maybe I'll do better with guys dressed as women.
Exactly. Yeah. But so
anyways,
I'm on this mattress, this gross, somebody was stabbed on it mattress.
Oh, my God.
And this woman takes off her hat that she was wearing, and she had like chunks out of her hair, and I went like I gasped, and she said, "You don't like me now?" And I'm like, "No, you're beautiful." You know. So she put a condom on me, thank God, or I wouldn't be here. And I started to, she's blowing me, and I'm actually I don't know how I managed.
With the condom on. How is that? Can you feel stuff through the condom?
You never gotten blown with a condom?
Never.
No, it's a drag. But I don't even know what made me come, except for I wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Right.
And as soon as I came, I went out the door of the room, and there's a guy coming right at me. This big black guy walking right towards me.
Right.
And he's gonna kill me. And I look back at her, and she's smiling like, "We got you." And he's coming from where I came. So I started going the other way, and I didn't want to run. You know, like when as soon as you run, then it's officially a pursuit.
Right.
So I'm just walking real fast, like, it's just a guy happens to be in an abandoned building, and I just went on all these staircases, and somehow I got out, and I heard her go, we lost him.
Wow.
So that was a bad
Wonder were they going to kill you think?
I'm pretty sure.
Or rob you,
pretty sure. Somebody else would have been stepping over me for
You want to hear
$8
something
blowjob later.
horrifying? One
I
time.
want to get one because I have an apartment in the village that has, it's down in the basement, so you walk down these little steps to and that's where my apartment door is. Oh, boy. And there is a transvestite hooker that does her business there every night.
Really? Every night,
that's
right
where
outside
she takes
your window?
Her Johns. It's a nightmare.
So you want to know when
I wake up in
he's
the
there
morning,
so you can talk to Jimmy?
I want to put a camera there.
Oh.
And a light, and first of all, just as a deterrent.
Yeah, right.
But every time, the worst it gets is there's always these personal lubricant little pouches, like one-time lubricant and a used rubber. And sometimes she greases up her ass, she gets the guy to fuck her, leaves the condom there, and sometimes we'll then take a nice soft on my stoop. I get that whole package in the mornings.
I hope you're taping your murder of this person, because that's
it's the worst. No, one time I came home, and there she was, and she's giving this guy a hand job. And the guy's back is to me. And so he doesn't see. When the John sees you, they run away. Nobody wants to get caught doing that. But she's looking me right in the eye while she's jerking the guy off. And
mouthing words off there.
Like,
what are you going to do about this? Motherfucker, you like
just doesn't care.
Oh, you got to get video of that.
My wife was asleep once. She doesn't spend many nights in that apartment. We use it like as for me mostly for when I come here to work. But she was asleep, and she hears the transvestite say to her John, "Put your hand on my." That's what she refers.
Put your hand on my.
On my. Nice.
That's wonderful.
They still have peep shows.
We found one like Danny found it.
They're being pushed to the avenues.
They're kind of off of Times Square now. You got to kind of walk a couple of blocks.
I used to work in Times Square, and I actually was really grateful that Giuliani shut them down.
Yeah.
Because they were eating my life.
A lot of people are like, Giuliani ruined New York, man. It's it's like Disney down there now. You know something?
I was taking 3-hour lunches, just shopping, trying to find a hand job. Because they had real girls in there, and some of them didn't have glass in the window, and you could get a girl to reach in and jack you off.
Hey, nice.
And I used to just go from window, can I get a hand job? Nope. Okay, next window. Just blatantly asking for it.
Hey, hand job.
No.
Hey, you're at a fucking McDonald's. Yeah. Could you leave?
Let's just cut to the chase here, all right?
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Years ago when I got blown in a condemned building on 23rd Street on a dirty mattress on the floor by some woman with chunks out of her hair. And then her boyfriend tried to beat me up, and I ran away.
Why?
And then I'm standing outside, because the whole point was take my $10 and then mug me and take everything else. I don't know why she was bothered to blow me.
You almost were part of that scam.
Yeah, it was really bad. See, but anyway, when I was standing outside and my felt weirdly gross from having been blown by this woman. I might be dead in a year from what I just caught. I almost just died, and I'm covered with sweat. I realized I was after this feeling right here. Like every decision I made was just me wanting to feel this up.
Wait, did you
wrong
come?
And what?
Did you come?
Yeah.
Now, how'd you know the boyfriend wanted to beat you up?
Because she said, like, get him or something like I came out of the room and he was standing there and she said, "Hey, get him quick before he..." And I ran away and I had to run away from both of them.
How slow were they?
I got out of the building.
You just came.
They were dumb. Yeah, they were dumb.
Yeah, shouldn't you have had wobbly legs still?
Yeah. No,
Was he big?
He was scrawny, but not, nothing to lose, kind of dangerous, Gross people. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
wait, what was
this is what Bob does with his
Hold on,
life.
what was the
He gets himself in these situations where he feels bad.
But Louis, what was the turn on there? She was a mess.
Yes,
and you were in a really awful
It was a bad scene.
Yeah, I'm just wiping my ass. You're an AIDS whore in a condemned building. She has patches of hair missing, and her boyfriend's watching you, faggot. How the am I?
No, he wasn't there while I was being blown.
Jesus Christ!
What was?
Did you ever get strip searched in a jail? Did you ever go to jail?
You've been to jail?
I've
never been to jail. Knock wood.
Well, he's from Mexico originally. That's just part of their culture down there.
Drag us in occasionally. just part of
just
being
for
Mexican.
a cavity search.
A rite of passage.
Just the way it goes.
Be muling something.
No, I got in upstate New York once. I got strip searched. I was driving with no license and I got pulled over for speeding. So
right there on the shoulder of the road.
What? That's it. I had to
point and laugh. Oh, he saw the finger at point and laugh and got all scared.
That's right. No, I had to, the guy made me stand there. They don't touch you, but first they make you bend over and spread your cheeks.
Yeah.
And then it says face front, and then he says lift. Just the word lift. He wanted me to lift my testicles, my genitalia.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess folks tuck all kinds of dangerous things beneath
under
their
there.
scrotum. Yeah.
What the hell can you fit under there?
Tic Tac. Some guy's trying to bring a Tic Tac into the joint. Depending how cold it is.
A couple of AA batteries.
New onion flavored Tic Tacs.
That's good.
But I had a weird moment where I thought, because he's just saying lift your testicles, did he want me to use my hands to do it, or just
do it with the natural muscles?
Yeah, like
you can do that.
Which
they are magic, ladies.
Yes.
They move all by themselves.
Yep.
Absolutely. What's in them makes us talk to you.
The need to rid that.
I got arrested once at the Holland Tunnel because this is how bad I was. My license was revoked. Not suspended, but revoked.
That's bad.
And I had, crazy amounts of warrants, open warrants. And the car I was driving had the plates from a different car.
Oh, that's never good. The cops don't like that.
No, and the plates were bad anyway. So, in other words, the car that they came from had expired. The plates were expired and from another car.
Wait, for anyone that doubted Louis was Mexican.
And I was coming through the Holland Tunnel and I had no money. That's where it all started. That I came up to, I was one of those things where I pulled up to the toll booth and said, "Hi, I have no money. What do you do? How do we do this?" And the guy said, "Just give me your license and I'll fill out a thing." And I go, "It's not on me." And he goes, "Give me your registration." I go, "I don't have that either." He says, "Give me your name and your social security number."
You just said how smart this guy is, Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't a smart thing.
No.
You're right.
And then he made me pull over and I went to jail. First, he put me in a jail cell that's under the Holland Tunnel toll booths. There's a jail cell.
There is?
Yeah, he took me down some stairs.
Hey, you got to see something most people don't get to see.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're a scofflaw, not criminal.
Exactly. And I slept the night. I actually spent the night. I just slept in a little jail cell down there. And then they transferred me to Weehawken County Jail, and that was the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Is that one under a photo mat?
Weehawken is a really bad. It's a really bad jail.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why? I would not have thought that at all.
It's terrible. People are throwing food out the windows all the time because of the food. I almost puked just taking a bite out of a sandwich there.
Was it violent there? Frightening?
Yeah, it was really scary. It was really bad.
Weehawken, who would have guessed?
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's not.
It's mostly New York drug addicts that get taken, because the New York jails overflow, and they start letting the Port Authority arrest people so that they can take them to New Jersey, because Port Authority is New York, New Jersey. So,
how long were you in for?
Like a day and a half. I was in, for a morning, afternoon, night, and the whole next day. It was horrible.
That's a long time.
Well, and when I got there, I was in a holding cell, and one of the guys in the holding cell said to me, "Don't let him take you out of this cell, because you'll never be heard from again. If you get moved to a permanent cell, they'll never find you. They lose people, because it's a bad bureaucracy, and everybody in the cell agreed, don't leave this cell." And a cop would come once in a while and say, "We got to move you," and I'd go, "No." He said, "Just say no." I'm like, "How do you just say no to?" And I go, "No, I'm not moving." And he goes, "Come on, we're moving you to permanent cell." And I go, "I'm not leaving here." And he goes, all right. That kept happening. I just kept refusing to leave.
How do you refuse?
Just say no.
Wow, I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
No, let me out.
It's really
I don't belong here.
No, and the worst part was that there was a toilet just in the middle of the floor of the whole place, like in the middle of the room.
Yeah, you would just have to sit there.
Had to sit there and
There's no
close.
There's no privacy.
I bet I got dumped even though I didn't
No,
say
it didn't.
I think you stopped it.
So wait, did you get moved to a permanent cell? You'd be there for a week, maybe.
Basically, and I mean, I was there because I made bail before I even arrived, because I called. I used the phone in the Holland Tunnel cell, and I made bail right away, but it took 2 days for the bail to find me.
Oh,
It's amazing.
Man.
Yeah, it's bad.
How much was
prison
bail?
System is bad. Oh, I mean, I had to pay. Yeah, it was like
nothing.
No, it was a lot. It was
Really?
like $600 or something. I mean, for me, that was a lot then. Now I would be like, I'll pay $6 million to get out of here. I don't have that kind of money.
Figure we could take care of it right here in Brainerd.
Give him that one.
Exactly. Right here in Brainerd.
I just want to be in full compliance.
Yeah.
Life is short. Life is very short. I like life. I like it. I feel like even if it ends up being short, I got lucky to have it, because life is an amazing gift when you think about what you get with a basic life. Not even a particularly lucky life or a healthy life. If you have a life, here's your boilerplate deal with life. This is basic cable, what you get when you get life. You get to be on Earth. First of all, oh my God, what a location. This is Earth, and for trillions of miles in every direction, it sucks so bad. It's so that your eyes bolt out of your head because it sucks so bad. You get to be on Earth and look at it, as long as you're not blind or whatever it is. You get to be here. You get to eat food. You get to put bacon in your mouth. I mean, when you have bacon in your mouth, it doesn't matter who's president or anything. You just, Every time I'm eating bacon, I think I could die right now, and I mean it. That's how good life is. You get to fuck. That's free if you're smart. That comes with. That's part of the deal. Where else are you gonna get that deal? You get to put your in there and go in and out. Pretty good. And if you're a woman, you get to just lay back and just have it just shoving in and out of you awkwardly. Anytime you want. Anytime you want. If you're a gay man, you get to just fill your boyfriend's ass with your just fill it all the way to the balls. And it's nice and warm and tight in there. And he's your buddy. If you're a lesbian, you get to do all the stuff they're doing. And, it's a great deal. You get to eat, you get to fuck, you get to read To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a great life.
And there should be an expiration date, I think, on a gun license.
Yeah, there are.
But I think that should be the way it is. I mean, it's hard because we live in an imperfect world and most people are douchebags.
Most people are idiots.
So it's just the way it is. And it's just this thing. I don't know, when you people that live in the country and have guns, it's like a hammer. It's just a tool. It's not that big a deal.
You're right. It's like anything else. But you do have a constitutional right to own these things.
Yeah, by the way, it's the Second Amendment. It's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like the 48th obscure amendment. It's the second you gotta
Amendment.
be able to say whatever you want
and then shoot whoever doesn't like it.
shoot whoever doesn't like what you said. I want to be in a house saying "F you" with a gun in my lap. That's what I want. That's what the basic American rights.
That is pretty much what the founding fathers wanted.
Yeah, and there's people who live in cultures that are not gun cultures, and it's offensive to them because they don't know what it means to have that. Yeah. And, you know, just like there's people who think that you're supposed to just parrot Jesus words at each other. Yeah. And so they don't get how important it is to be able to say whatever you want.
These anti-gun advocates are ridiculous if they can't see that a gun ban in D.C. and in Chicago, by the way, does nothing. It hasn't done anything. It doesn't deter crime. If they're talking about accidental shootings, that happens. It does. And again, you got to be responsible. You got to be so responsible with a gun. Some people aren't responsible enough.
Yep.
They're just not.
I know I'm not responsible enough to have a gun.
Really?
Yeah. I would just something dumb would happen.
I wouldn't trust you with a peach.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Get that peach away from Opie.
Oh my God, he's pointing at me.
I'm clumsy.
Yep.
Something dumb would happen. Yeah, just clumsy.
You gotta know.
I would kick it and it would fire and hit my neighbors.
I get nervous with my fake gun. Like I keep the blanks box in one corner of the apartment, and then I have the magazine that they go into another. Like I don't want to keep this stuff in one.
You have to be very
and
familiar
he should
with
be
it.
nervous about that. Who died because of
John Eric Hexum years ago?
Who?
Yep.
John Eric Hexum.
Oh, who was the actor too?
He was the actor.
The kid, Brandon Lee got shot.
Well,
I was thinking Brandon Lee.
I was thinking John Eric Hexum.
What's that story?
He was filming a TV series he was on, and he put a blank gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Idiot.
And the charge dislodged a piece of his skull as if it was a bullet and put it right through his brain.
Dead idiot. Dead fool.
There's a charge that explodes when you do that.
Oh, yeah. A blank is
a big nasty orange flame comes out the front.
A blank is nothing but a bullet without the lead in it.
Without the lead.
But so it fires like the powder?
Oh, yeah. And you still get the same energy coming out of the barrel. So if something's at the front of the barrel, like your skull, it's just going to bust out and go through your brain.
Yeah.
But he thought it was like a little.
Yeah, I don't know what he thought.
He shot himself in the head with his head.
Right. Yeah. He used his own head to kill himself.
Because he's stupid, and he's probably smarter now than when he was alive.
Yeah. Let's go to the second part of the gun story down there in D.C. You got the candidates commenting.
A carefully worded statement from Barack Obama tonight. He suggests the court isn't saying you can't have common sense gun laws, just that this particular case violates a basic principle. John McCain calls the ruling a recognition that gun ownership is a sacred fundamental right.
Sacred is getting a little
sacred.
Yeah, get a hold of yourself.
Call it that. I say call it sacred because people don't understand.
Boy, that audio was very surprising.
Yeah, very surprising.
Yeah, exactly. Well, those dudes are really,
it is weird.
About as sincere as your apology to the Menino.
All right. Hey, the Supreme Court one day rules very liberal that you can't put the child molesters, child rapists to death, and then this conservative ruling. It's really weird.
Yeah, this isn't even really a conservative ruling.
Yes,
this is a constitutional.
No, both of those rulings are actually a good Supreme Court behavior because they're both saying, regardless of how people are upset about something right now, you can't just start changing stuff. You can't. There's a line you can't cross with the death penalty. And there's a fundamental, ancient, basic right to handguns. And regardless of the statistics of today or how things are going in D.C. or how mad people are about these, you can't change stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with, yes, child molestation is, on the rise, but you still can't start killing people for a crime that's getting particularly rampant and repulsive to people.
But why can't you change stuff?
It's not murder.
Well, don't forget, why can't you, though, when this was written, this was just written by guys. Like, it's not like this. Why should this document be so completely unchangeable and sacred when it was written by, we all know slave owners.
Well, because when you change law, like if you just let it rock back and forth and pendulum back and forth, I think it's dangerous to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's good that you can't.
Then it's not worth the paper it's written on.
But it's supposed to be changeable.
There's going to be
to what extent?
There's going to be a day when you're going to get, I don't know, you don't drink, right? You're like a sober guy, aren't you?
Like a sober guy.
Someday the right woman's going to drive you back into the bottle. You're going to have a bad night, and you're going to wake up in a kiddie park, not realizing where you passed out with wood chips on your face, and you're going to pee on a fire engine toy, and there's going to be a kid standing there watching you pee, and next thing you know, you're on death row. That's going to happen.
Yeah, right? There you go.
There's this basic line that you got to let.
I'll take that chance. The odds of those things happening, if I wind up doing that and get caught, I deserve to be put to death. Because a fire truck is only every boy's right.
They're also talking about New York City's laws, their gun laws, and Mayor Bloomberg, of course, is saying that this shouldn't affect New York City, which, by the way, is just a pain in the ass to get a pistol license.
But you can get one here.
You need to show cause. You need to have a reason. You can't just say, my reason? Because there are lunatics running around and they have guns.
Yeah.
Why can't I? Why, I'm willing to get a background check.
How'd you get one?
I have a New York State license. I cannot carry my gun in the city.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm there's supposed to be certain people working on that. I haven't heard anything yet. But, because it's one of those things. It should be your right. I think they're screwing up here in New York City. I think it's against the Second Amendment, and I hope the D.C. thing sets a precedent, and people in Chicago are able to get handguns, and I hope they make it easier in New York for law-abiding citizens. I'm talking people that are responsible and go through the system and are able to then possess a handgun.
This is an example of how old ideals carry through time. The way that dictators take over countries, they use laws. They don't do it through like Hitler used law.
He played it perfectly.
Parliamentary process in order to become chancellor.
All of a sudden, he was the head muckety-muck.
Yeah, so
handed to him.
So he changed laws. He changed laws because he was able to. He had large powers, so he just said, "Okay, everybody, turn in your weapons." You disarm. The two things you do when you take over a country as a dictator is you shut people up and you take away their weapons. You say everybody has to bring. If you're found with a gun, you go to jail. That's a new law. We just made it up. Okay, next law, if you say these salacious things, you go to jail.
Yeah.
Those two things lead the next day you're Hitler.
And that's absolutely
but you can't do that in America. You just can't do it. You can't tell people you can't say something, and you can't tell people, well, you can, but it's...
That's why they put it in the Constitution.
Yep.
To protect the American people against a tyrannical government, because the government has to know, holy crap, these people are armed.
But it was
the same people that got England thrown out of here just by having their hunting rifles with them.
In their houses.
Yeah, everyone is armed. We're crazy if we think we can just sweep over these people and be a tyrannical government.
It was to protect from basically an external force coming into. I'm not against guns.
No,
either.
but also it's not
it was
an external
really
force.
protecting against their own government.
Their own government,
because they saw how that worked in England, where. They were.
And it's the same thing with the government's ability to punish people by death, by using laws against the citizens.
But if you have guns to protect yourself from your own government, why all of a sudden can't you change the laws? Like if that's how bad things can get, why is it so out of the realm of possibility or to change?
Well, that's the whole thing. It would be bad because they'd be changing the laws.
Because we have an ironclad. Because we have a constitution that we keep going back to, so you just can't as a new leader, say, okay, no more guns. You just can't do it. And you can't say, okay, you can't say these things. Because the Constitution is so bedrock.
But you know what?
That's why when things change, you don't want to...
It's overrated.
I don't think so.
It really is. When you look at it, I mean, there's a lot of it was great.
Yeah.
But some of it might be a bit outdated. It was written by a bunch of guys protecting their own interest at that time.
I think fundamentally it's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's worth defending.
Yeah, to a certain point, but
from decade to decade, it holds up better than somebody with a fiery speech ability to just change stuff. Sorry, that music means I got to shut up, right?
Well, it's all right. Look,
I'm a loudmouth. I'm boring.
A loudmouth.
No,
You're a loudmouth.
Not at all. That's a good set, and we should continue with that discussion down the road. Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't even get. I really am not against guns. I just think that the NRA is like, all right, already, we get it.
No, they are. I think there's douchebags on both sides. I think that guy from that clip who's going like, I'm glad now I can defend. Nothing's ever happened to him. Nothing ever will happen to him.
You never
But he's
know.
enjoying, I'm glad I now get to have a gun and an erection without people bothering me.
Guns are great to have. It's a great feeling of security.
Yeah.
It's great to go to the range, blast off some rounds.
I think a lot of people that want to have guns are stupid and they're morons. But then there's people who aren't. Guess which one you are.
I'm still trying to figure that one out. We all are.
It's lunchtime in one of Haiti's most desperate slums. But because of rising food prices, some of the poorest can't even afford a daily plate of rice.
They're going to eat that baby?
Instead, they're taking desperate measures to fill their bellies. This mother and her toddler now rely on a traditional Haitian remedy for hunger pangs, cookies made of dried yellow dirt. The mud has long been used by pregnant women.
Oh, my God. The crowd loved that.
By the way, I'm not getting in trouble for playing that boring clip over...
Why would you?
All right.
Because God wanted that played.
There's a commercial here. I think it's a commercial that we're playing here in New York where Mike from Mike and the Mad Dog is talking about the Super Bowl. I guess he's doing a little Super Bowl, like, tidbits or something. I don't even know. But his delivery is like, I don't want to do this. I'm being forced to do this. So here it is.
He's got pizzazz, that guy.
So I've been playing, like, the boring clip under his commercial read.
What happened with the dirt cookies? They sound lovely.
Yeah, let's
Yellow cookies made from dirt?
Yeah.
Remedy for hunger pangs, cookies made of dried yellow dirt. The mud has long been used by pregnant women and children as an antacid and source of calcium. But now cookies made of dirt, salt, and vegetable shortening have become a regular meal for some. Food prices are up as much as 40% on some Caribbean islands after floods from last year's hurricane season damaged crops. Because of that, Caribbean leaders held an emergency summit to discuss cutting food taxes and coming up with ways to reduce the island's dependence on imports. Haitian doctors say those who rely on the cookies are at risk from malnutrition. And officials warn the dirt can contain deadly parasites or toxins.
This story reminds me. That's why I had to jump in. I was out for sushi the other night, and the rice wasn't as gummy as I like it to be, so my sushi fell apart.
That's really Did you send it back and have it thrown into a garbage pail?
I certainly did. I said, throw this away. No one will want this.
No.
That story reminded me of.
It's worthless.
Have a dirt cookie.
They're eating dirt cookies.
Dirt cookies.
How awful. Don't call them cookies.
No, they're not cookies.
No,
it's dirt.
And it reminds me of when, and this is true, I took my daughter to dinner the other night, and I ordered her a plate of spaghetti and a cheeseburger.
Wow.
In case, because she's fickle.
She doesn't know which one she wants. I understand that.
A bite of each.
If we're going to talk about food, can we play We Are the World or something? I need some music behind this.
She took a bite of burger, a bite of the pasta, and the rest we just chucked in the gutter.
Throw it away.
For the rats. The rats eat better than
exactly.
than the Haitians in the city. I bet you the dirt cookies have some leavings, chips in them.
Sure they do.
Leavings.
I gave my dog... I fed my dog fresh beef and vegetables for breakfast this morning. That's true. Fresh beef from a supermarket.
I went to an Italian restaurant here in Manhattan, and it's served what they call family style.
Ah, yeah.
And it's a giant. You get a giant platter of food, and it's just me and my girl, and she doesn't like what I have.
Sure.
And I don't like what she has. Right. So we each had to get a giant portion, of which you couldn't even tell we had eaten anything out of it, and I was stuffed.
Right.
And then they take it away and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, no, and you throw it in like hazmat garbage, so it's certain that no other people will eat it.
Right.
It's like a shredder for food.
Yeah, because it's illegal to give that food to anybody.
And the beauty, because we are Americans, that all that beautiful food that's in the dumpsters, we don't let the homeless eat it, so we poison it. They dump actual poison on this delicious food that the homeless would have grabbed and had a nice meal.
Exactly.
We do that because we're Americans.
That's what we've always done.
Jimmy, you got a food story, maybe?
Well, I started with the sushi one. I normally, I don't know. I mean, I like to take a couple of bites out of things and throw it on the floor. And they just say, look, this fell. I'm not paying for it. And then I go home.
Fell. What about the gluttony Super Bowl Sunday? You know, big game on Sunday. The gluttony that's going to be...
chicken wings.
Yep, I'll order a pizza.
About a week ago, I was driving from Louisville, Kentucky to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped at a Kroger's.
Right.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was open. Totally lit up and air conditioned and perfectly, controlled. And there was just about an acre of meat out on the shelf.
Yeah.
And no one was going to ever buy it that night. And the next day it would all be thrown away.
Yeah, of course.
And that Kroger's represents literally millions of supermarkets that just have, in case one guy wants meat at 3 o'clock and wants a square inch of meat, they put an acre out there.
Yeah, really. They got to eat dirt cookies.
And then it all throws.
Right,
those people have dirt cookies?
I forgot about the dirt cookies.
What's wrong? Why are they eating dirt cookies? There's meat at Kroger's.
And if you want to
stupid?
Go back a ways, I remember...
how far is Haiti from Louisville, really?
Yeah.
How hard would that be?
Come on. Just make the swim.
Yeah.
When I was probably a little older than these children that they're talking about that are making dirt cookies, I remember going to Jack in the Box with all my friends at the end of a night of drinking. And we would get a breakfast jacks, they were called.
Right.
But we would get extra ones.
Yeah.
Just so after we eat our fill, we could drive by the Jack in the Box and throw them at the big windows in front.
Food
and just watch them slide down the window.
Yeah.
And would we laugh as that food, that sustenance, was just oozing down the windows.
We have enough food here in this country to do funny things with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
we have to be told not to play with our food.
Exactly.
That dirt cookie story reminded me. I had a Toll House freshly baked. I had about 8 of them, and I was only going to eat 3. And a couple of them actually had more chips on one side of the cookie than the other.
Oh,
that's awful.
What
that's infuriating.
That's awful.
Hold on, I want to make more room so I could eat.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, how do they deal with the anorexia problem over there? Like, do they have to maybe force them to eat the dirt cookies?
So.
And the bulimia? Like, does that hurt when after you binge on dirt cookies, you have to purge and there's the pebbles that scrape your throat?
Look at the positive side. They don't have those diseases in Haiti.
That's right.
That was...
I went shopping the other night for my kids, and I got a chicken and some lamb chops and beef, and then I ended up not feeling like cooking.
Yeah.
I got takeout every night this week, and all of that food went rotten in my fridge.
Yep. You just got to clean it out, throw it away.
I know,
or else
it's a real
fridge
drag
stinks.
for me. It's a
molds.
Yeah.
Everyone understands the message. What we're really trying to say with this bit, and don't misinterpret it, is that this Black History Month, we want to acknowledge that in Haiti they are spoiled.
They're what?
Spoiled.
They're spoiled.
You don't have any food. Have a dirt cookie.
I'd love to have cookies for every meal of the day.
Listen, it's not just dirt, too. What did she said? They had vegetable shortening and salt in there?
Something in there.
It's delicious.
Sounds great.
Have a dirt cookie, son. You've been good.
In some countries, that's a delicacy. You know when they say that?
Exactly.
In some countries, that's a delicacy. Yeah, because they don't have any actual food.
Because they don't have beef.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Poor countries.
Spit is a delicacy.
Yeah, that's why slugs are a delicacy.
They spit in each other's mouths for food because they got nothing else.
How about, I remember being a small child and my parents getting into a big fight. And my father taking a full plate, a big platter of spaghetti, and just throwing it against the wall and calling my mother an F and a C, and watching the spaghetti ooze down the wall, and it brought tears to my eyes. Not, the waste of food. It was the fact that my parents were probably getting a divorce, and I was devastated.
Well, the people in Haiti would probably happily drink those tears for nourishment now.
Of course, well, add it to these dirt cookies. That's where the salt comes from. Their own tears.
Wonderful snack. Wonderful.
Oh, look, an infected toe. Let me on that. I'm thirsty.
I have probably personally poured about 4 million gallons of milk down the drain. Just poured it down the drain.
To feed a nation.
Bought a gallon of milk. This has been repeated 50,000 times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Bought a gallon of milk. Didn't even drink a glass of it. Made a cappuccino with an eighth of a cup of it. Yeah. And then let the rest rot. Come back home from the road and pour it out.
Right.
How about lunch meat?
Lunch meat? Oh, yeah.
We all get like a pound of ham or turkey or something.
Give me a pound. You know what? Give me a pound, buddy.
You make one sandwich and forget that it's in the fridge, and then right into the garbage.
That's it.
It's like
Swiss
the Bible
cheese
says.
becomes cardboard. Stiffens up on it.
Exactly.
Teach a man to buy cookies. Boy, I screwed up. I've never actually read the Bible, but I just heard it's good.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we were doing a great show.
No, that's the thing.
Wow.
Give a nation grain and food and rice, and they'll eat for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Teach them that the dirt beneath their feet can be cookies, and the whole country will be dead in a week.
And that's how we leave you
Words to
today.
live by, Lloyd.
Yeah, really fast. Got to get this in. We're sending Sam and Big A to the NBC Night Rider premiere party at the Playboy Mansion.
I think it's a compact humans have always made, we want to be able to laugh about stuff that's upsetting us. It's part of it. And then everybody gets upset sometimes, and they all go, how could we make such jokes? This is a terrible thing. But in the end, we always choose the humor. That's why comedy's always stayed in there. Once in a while, everybody says, this is wrong to talk about these things, and you shouldn't joke about bad things or hurting things. And we all clang a bell because that's part of the process. And I accept that. That's okay that people do that because it's part of it. You say that to yourself once in a while because it lets you off the hook. I tweeted to everybody that I thought that joke was inappropriate. And then later you can laugh at a joke that's inappropriate. I mean, that way you get to have both ways.
But are there places you will not go?
Only if it's not funny or if it's boring.
But that's it.
Yeah, or somebody else has been there heavily, then I won't go there usually because it's boring. Yeah, it's only if it's boring. But I don't. I remember saying one time that saying that a joke is too awful, saying that something is too terrible to joke about, is like saying that a disease is too terrible to try to cure it. I mean, that's what you do with awful things. You joke about them. That's how you get through it. It's how you survive life.
That's the only way you can talk.
Yeah. So to say that's so terrible, I can't joke about it. That's totally counterintuitive to me. It's like, if it's that awful, you better start joking about it. Because that's how human beings get through it.
I love traveling and seeing all the different parts of the country. I live in New York. There's no value to your doing that at all. I live in New York. There's this old lady in my neighborhood, and she's always walking her dog. She's very old. She just stands there just being old. And the dog just fights gravity every day. Just the two of them, it's really... The dog's got a cloudy eye, and she's got a cloudy eye, and they just stand there looking at the street in 2 dimensions together. And she's always wearing like this sweater dress. I guess it was a sweater when she was like 5'10", but now it's just like this sweater. And her legs are a nightmare. They're just white with green streaks and bones sticking out, and her legs are awful. I saw a guy with no legs wheeling by, and he was like, ugh, no, thank you. I do not want those. I'd rather just have air down here like I have than to look down at that. I see these two all the time. And I always look at them and I always think, God, I hope she dies first. I do! I hope she dies first for her sake. Because I don't want her to lose the dog. I don't think she'll be able to handle it. If the old lady dies first, I'm not worried about the dog. Because the dog doesn't even know about the old lady. This dog is aware of 3 inches around his head. He's living in 2-second increments. The second he's in and the one he just left is all he knows about. But if he dies, this lady, she's gonna be destroyed because this dog is all she has. And I know he's all she has because she has him. If she had one person in her life, she would not keep this piece of shit little dog. Even if just some young woman in her building one morning were to say, "Good morning, Gladys," she'd be like, "Oh, good," and just flush him down the toilet. Dog just keeps bumping on the drain. She gives up. Ends up just on her dog for the rest of her life.
You know, you have bad thoughts. Hopefully you do good things. Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully they win. The good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always just, and then this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe. I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now, do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course.
But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're people, that we others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit. Thanks a lot, folks. You guys are great. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
I was in upstate New York in a small town, and I was standing in front of a drugstore. And in the window of the drugstore, they had a wheelchair on display in the window. Is that really an impulse purchase? I should get a wheelchair. That would really help with my paralysis. Then I wouldn't have to drag myself everywhere I go, like I've been doing for 10 years since my legs were blown off at the marathon. Okay. Bunch of hypocrites, apparently. Because, let me point some out to you. You mother. You were just, like, seconds ago, laughing at a man with no legs crawling on the ground. You're just... And then at the end, you're like, oh, but not those particular legless people. No. We thought you meant just some with a childhood disease who deserves to be laughed at. Not one of those. Now we're laughing at all legless people equally. However you lost your legs. Ha ha ha. You haven't legs. And we've legs. I have legs. I have 2 legs. 2 legs. That's the maximum amount. I love having 2 legs. I love it. I wouldn't like having no legs. I really don't think I would like it. I think it would suck. I think it would out of the balls of Christ. It's an old Southern expression. It's not used like it used to be. I think 2 legs is better than none. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. It's not popular. You're not supposed to say that because you're supposed to always be very positive about disabled people. But I think that puts pressure on them to be positive. What if they don't want to be? Because the only story we want to hear is about the amazing disabled people. He's amazing. He lost his legs and then he won the leg-having contest. What about disabled people who aren't amazing? Who are just ordinary with a sweatshirt and some potato chips and he's going, fuck, I wish I had legs. No, this is better. This is better with no legs. Why is it better? Because you can do anything now. I can do 4 things. Fuck off. I just don't know that our positive, non-disabled attitude really helps. Like retarded people. We're going to talk about retarded people for 20 minutes. That's what's going to happen. We're going to discuss retarded people for 20 minutes. It's not okay to never speak of them. No, we're going to talk about them. First of all, I want to talk about the word retarded, okay? Because the word retarded, it's a bad word, and people do not like the word retarded. They find it very offensive. Now, I'm a little confused by this, because it wasn't always a bad word.
And I grew up in the 70s, and it wasn't bad back then. And most bad words were always bad. You know, cunt never had a day in the sun. There was never a time where the Santa Claus at the mall was like, come here, you little cunt, tell me what you want for Christmas. And then in the 90s, we're like, let's lay off a cunt a little bit there, gang. No, we used the word retarded in the 70s. We used it to identify people who were retarded. It wasn't controversial. It wasn't like, he's retarded. It was like, he is retarded. This fellow right here is retarded, right? I told you, yes, you're still retarded. He is retarded, everyone. And I grew up in Boston. We didn't say retarded in Boston. We said retarded. He's retarded. God bless him, he's retarded. That's the way we used it. With love. Help the retarded. That's what people said in the 70s. Help the retarded. There was a lady outside the supermarket near my house every Christmas with a bell. She was like, help the retarded. Help the retarded. You gonna tell me she was a bad person? She was helping the retarded. And I feel like we had more of them around back then. I haven't seen one in years. In the 70s, there was a retarded guy in a windbreaker on every street corner. We were using the word, and they were more in our lives. I swear to God, they were more. They were in our culture. There was TV movies about retarded people all the time. Tonight on ABC, a retarded boy's dream. There was one, I remember, with Sean Cassidy. I don't know if you remember Sean Cassidy. Some of you too young. But Sean Cassidy, he began his career as a teen pop idol. He was a 13-year-old boy with a very hit song called Da Do Run Run. And he had feathered blonde hair and juicy lips. And he's on the cover of Teen Beat magazine. And everybody liked Sean Cassidy because he was sexy. He's a sexy boy. I thought he was sexy. I did. I thought he was really sexy. I was 6 years old. But I already had inappropriate sex feelings for teenage boys when I was 6. I was an old soul. I was a pedophile when I was 6. I used to go up to teenage boys when I was 6, like, hey, how's it going? That kid's weird. He's got a boner. Anyway. Not anymore. I outgrew it, but no. I'm not sexually attracted to teenage boys. I'm not. But I don't not get it. I mean, I get it. I'm not like, what? Like, you can see it. Like, I was at an airport once, and I'm walking along where people walk in the airport, and there's these chairs facing the aisle, and there's this family sitting there, a mom and a dad and 2 teenage boys, and they're like just both sitting with their phones with their legs. They're wearing like these shorts. One had cutoff shorts, and one had basketball shorts, and they both just had their legs open because they don't give a both legs just splayed, and then just smooth, you know, just very and I saw it. It didn't do anything to me. But I kind of wanted to stop and go, hey, fellas, let's close that up, huh? You're not getting me, but I know you're causing a problem for somebody in this airport. Let's close it up. I did not say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Anyway, let's return to the comfortable subject of retarded people, shall we? So Sean Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was a teen singer who then grew up. He was about 18. Now he was, old and gross. Nobody wanted to f*** him. So he started to act. And he had a movie on TV called Normal People, where he played a retarded man who wants to live a normal life. It was very inspiring, actually.
And at one point, he didn't do like a big retarded character. He wore thick glasses, he talked like Elmer Fudd, that was the whole thing. So he goes up to the guy who runs the group home he lives in, and he says, I want to get a job. And the guys who runs it is like, Republican conservative. So he's like, you can't get a job, you're retarded, And, But then there's a liberal lady who works there, and she says, of course he can get a job. He's as good as anyone. So they let him get a job as an air traffic controller or whatever was available. And then he meets a woman who's also retarded who lives at the group home. He falls in love with her. It's a very nice love story. And he says, we want to get married. And the guy says, she says, but they're in love. So they get married. And then one day he says, we want to have a baby. And the liberal lady says, no way. And they just shut them down right there. And that's the end of the movie. I swear to God, that's just how it ends. And the point of the movie is just, hey, there's a limit. Like, that's, I guess, what the point of it was. And that's pretty intense. But hey, retarded people were on television. We were talking about it. We were dealing with it. And they said the word retarded about 50,000 times in the movie. Now we don't say the word, and I don't see them anywhere. I guess that's my problem with it. And also, the word is not basically a bad word. It's a medical term. But it became a bad word because it's used as an insult, really. Not towards retarded people. Nobody does that. Nobody calls retarded people retarded to insult them. What would be the point of that? It would be like going up to a chair and saying, you're a chair. Like, what are you doing? No. People use it on their friends. Like, you're at a bar, your friend's like, I don't have any more money for beer. And you're like, you're retarded. Do you know that? And in that moment, no one retarded is insulted. They're not. Do you know why? Because they're not there. Because we don't include them in our lives. They're not at the bar. How many of you have a retarded drinking buddy that you hang out with? No, you take them to the zoo when they're little and then f*** them. This is what I find confusing about this thing, is that we told many generations of people that they are retarded. We told them that that's what they are, and they lived with it, and they dealt with it. And then we just decided it's a bad word. So did we tell them this? Did we go back to them and explain this to them? Listen, Nelson, I have something to tell you. You're not retarded anymore. You mean I'm cured? No. No. No, we're not even working on it.
He and I talked about doing the podcast twice.
Delete
on
that
two
story.
separate occasions.
Delete the story.
No,
Jamie.
we're keeping that story.
I love him. Delete the story.
It's a great story.
He's my favorite guy in the world.
He's a great guy. What's wrong with that story?
That wasn't bad.
You didn't say anything bad about him.
I got a bad Louis story. So I used to open for him before he was in trouble. And, he was like the king of comedy for a while. He was the funniest guy ever, whatever. So I used to open for him, and it was the highlight of my life. And then we were hanging out in his hotel room watching a movie, and we were talking, and I was sitting on his bed, and he was sitting at the chair in the hotel room. And I go, hey, Louie, and I farted.
On his bed?
On his bed. And he flipped. He lost it. He flipped. I was like, you're like the filthy comedy guy. I thought you would love a fart. And he was like, dude, what are you doing? I was crushed.
But did he get actually angry or just like that, dude, what are you doing?
It was worse because it was like, I'm disappointed in you. Like, I thought we were building a relationship and you fart in my hotel room.
I could see that 100%.
I thought he'd love it.
He strikes me as a guy that would,
Oh, he
There's
hated
certain
it.
guys.
I could see him going both ways.
Interesting.
I could see him going like, that was hilarious, or like, hey, dude, what the
f***ed him
I
on
got
a
nice
bad
suite.
day.
And it was a great fart, too.
I encountered some really interesting racism because it was from very liberal people. I was in L.A. There's this place called Amoeba Records, and it's like the cool, funky.
Amoeba Records is very cool.
Yeah, they're
Sounds
like
like
really,
cool.
really, you know, grunge, and they're cool.
A lot of LP.
Yeah, so
that's still cool.
I go in there and I'm in the video section, and you know, like just like I'll Google myself every time I touch a computer. I go look for my stuff, and I made Pootie Tang, so I go look for it, and it's in the black film section. And I'm looking through the black film section, and it's every movie with a black person in it. It's not like movies about Afrocentric subjects. It's just anyone who's black is in that section, and they're not in the other sections. So it's like this ghetto of black movie. Just anybody who's black has to be in that section. And so I went up and asked the girl who works there, who does the curating, and she's this chick with nose rings and punky hair. And I go, you know, that's really kind of racist. You have like a ghetto. You have like a black section in your video. And she's like, and she turned red because the idea that she could be
racist. Oh, that
she's like, oh no, look at me.
Look at me, stop.
I'm in LA.
I'm a liberal chick here.
And I'm like, you know, if you're a black filmmaker and you make a drama, you hope people will look through the dramas and just pick, you know, have the opportunity to pick you out of any drama. Why do you have to be in the? It's, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm gay. And we have a gay section, and I'm glad.
You pulled that out. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
And, like, black people have to be like gay people? Yeah. That they need gay cinema and black cinema?
Wow. That is
anyway,
real typical
liberals
liberal
can
thinking,
be totally racist.